Hi, welcome back. All right, folks, I want to show you how this works. I want to take you here in the next audio soundbite to something that happened early on in the CNN so-called town hall. This was not a town hall. This comment that you're going to hear is from a student. This student was near the beginning of the program, so it was not enough time for passions to have risen because of the nature of the event, because of the comments that had been said. This was early on. I know passions were already at a fever pitch, don't misunderstand. I firmly believe that what you're going to hear was a rehearsed, scripted comment. I don't know who wrote it. The student may have written it himself. I'm not making a big deal out of who wrote it. My point is, it was not a spontaneous question. It's scripted. And it was done on purpose. Because as you will see, and it was directed at Marco Rubio, and as you will see, it is the exact kind of, this is why Rubio and Republicans should not go. Because there is no way that Rubio could respond to this in ways that the circumstance demanded. Rubio had to stand there and take this. Rubio had to stand there and either try to smile about it or appear nonplussed. But it is a deeply personal, insulting, irrational, designed to be over-the-top extremist comment to stir up further rabid anger and rage. This comment is a typical comment making it impossible to communicate with these people, to compromise with them, to reach across the aisle, to shake hands and even work together with them. You just can't. And this is by design. If Rubio responds to this in the way you or I would, then the news today becomes how Rubio was disrespectful and mean to young students. It's audio soundbite number 19. It's Cameron Kasky, who I am told has become a favorite of the media in go-to interviews and comments on the shooting. He's a student at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And again, this is at the beginning, relatively near the beginning of the town hall.
Senator Rubio, it's hard to look at you and not look down the barrel of an AR-15 and not look at Nicholas Cruz. But the point is, you're here, and there are some people who are not. This is about people who are for making a difference to save us and people who are against it and prefer money. So, Senator Rubio, can you tell me right now that you will not accept a single donation from the NRA in the future?
Now, this is the beginning of this sordid, despicable affair. It is a student who has survived a shooting. And he opens by saying, Senator Rubio, it's hard to look at you and not see the barrel of an AR-15 looking down on me. In other words, Senator Rubio, when I look at you, I see a murdering assault weapon. That's all I see when I look at you, Senator Rubio. It's hard to look at you and not look down the barrel of an AR-15 and not look at Nicholas Cruz. Senator Rubio, you look like you remind me of the assassin. But you're not. You're here. And there's some people, my classmates, who aren't. Now, Rubio can't respond to this. By design, if Rubio responds to this in any way of calling out this child, what do you think the reaction he's going to get from the media is? Because, see, the kids are protected now. They're victims, and they have free rein on their emotions, what they're feeling, what they're saying, and we just have to deal with it because they've been through trauma. They've been targeted. And so Senator Rubio has to sit there. And then after that insult, Then we get this, have you beat your wife lately? Have you stopped beating your wife? Can you promise us that you will never take another donation from the NRA? Somebody wrote that. I'm not making an allegation here. My point is that's not a spontaneous question. It is a question that has a specific purpose or two. And the first purpose is to castigate and smear Rubio while making it impossible for him to react to it. This is why I say I don't know why these people show up. Do you think there's any answer Rubio could have had that would have built a bridge to that student and maybe corrected or changed the misunderstanding a student has of Marco Rubio? No. Exactly right, Mr. Snerdley. No. But what? Again, can't do it. That's my whole point. If Rubio had called that kid out as disrespectful or missing the point, they were hoping. That's what the question was designed. That question was designed to get Rubio to lose his composure and attack that kid. That's what that question was designed to do. Rubio should be given a medal for keeping his cool. That was designed specifically. Rubio was just called the assassin. Rubio was just told that he reminds the student of the shooter with the AR-15. I don't know what I would. It's hard to say what I would do because I can tell you right now I would never accept an invitation to go to one of these things, precisely because of this. Now, Rubio probably, look, he's a senator. It's an event in Florida. They invited him. How does he not go? I'm sure he felt like he had to go. But then this event last night just descended into the murk from there. Let's jump back here. Here's Dana. By the way, I apologize. I've been mispronouncing her name. Snerdley finally had it. He said it's Lash. I said, how do you get Lash out of the way it's spelled? See, I read closed captioning on TV. I don't have the audio up very much. And so I don't hear names pronounced. It's not purposeful here. I just hadn't heard the name pronounced. Anyway, this is at the town hall again last night, called Stand Up, the Students of Stoneman Douglas Demand Action. They weren't demanding action. So Dana Lash, the NRA spokesperson, was speaking about getting states to better participate in the background check system. And she was interrupted by 3 hecklers.
We had 3 lawmakers on this stage, and only one of them hinted at reinforcing the background check system. It is only as good as the record submitted to it. Only one of them even got anywhere close to mentioning that. We have to have more than 38 states submit records. That's number one. Number 2, we have to develop better protocol to follow up on red flags. This monster carrying bullets to school, carrying knives to school, assaulting students, assaulting his parents, 39 visits in the past year.
Were you able to hear what the hecklers were shouting? They were calling her a murderer. You murderer! You murderer! She didn't shoot anybody. Didn't kill anybody, never has. But here the students have been made into permanent victims, so we're not allowed, we're not permitted to comment on them. The students are traumatized. The students are already suffering PTSD. The students are emotionally distraught. They're scared to leave their homes. And the NRA did that. The NRA did that. The guns did that. Now, what she was talking about here on the background system check, this, by the way, proves that this whole event last night was a total sham. She actually shows up and is talking substance to these people about trying to improve an aspect of existing systems to make sure bad people don't get guns. And she's talking about the background check system. And she's pointing out that the background check system is only good as good as the data that has been entered into it. Garbage in, garbage out. You can have all the background checks you want, but if the system containing the information on people is incomplete, it isn't going to be worth anything. She pointed out only one of the politicians on that stage even talked about this. She said, we have to have more than 38 states submit records, meaning we have 50 states in the nation, 57 if you live in Obama's world. We have 50 states. Only 38 states have even submitted information on people to the background check system. So if somebody in one of those 12 states that has not submitted records goes to get a gun, there's no information on those people to even do a background check. And the point that she was making is that these states are not even stepping up and trying to provide the information. And everybody demands bigger and better and longer background checks. And yet nobody seems concerned that there are 12 states that haven't even submitted any data for the background check system. And she's trying to tell these students, because ostensibly everybody there last night is to talk about how we can prevent this. How can we do better? And that's not what the event was, as you now know, if you didn't before it started. Another break. Back with more in a moment.